News, my lovely, wonderful people. Bishop Matthew Kukah says, when I was speaking, some people said I was opposing Buhari, right? I'm shocked to hear what those who served in Buhari's government are saying about him. These are the people who serve with him. And what they are saying about him, I can't even believe it. When I spoke and I made condemnation on some of the activities in the then Buhari's government, these were the same people who stood up, fought against me vehemently, and said I was being one-sided and what have you. These are the same people now who are saying all kinds of words against him. And it's it's very, very mind-boggling and unbelievable. So this is part of what is happening and every single person can see. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Let's get all the details as we hear what Bishop Matthew Kukah has got to say about the former APC president, Buhari. I am shocked to hear what those who served in Buhari's government are saying about him. Bishop Matthew Kukah, the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Reverend Father Matthew Kukah, has said his criticism of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was never personal. Never. The bishop said, according to him, the only problem he had with the former president was his inability to manage the country's diversity, the nepotism, and how he drove the people deep more into uncertainty. Daily Trust reports that Father Kukah was already at loggerheads with the Buhari's government and was one of the fierce critics of the administration. In fact, Kukah, in his December 2022 Christmas message, the last to be delivered under the watch of Buhari's government, declared that the former president has made Nigeria more vulnerable and succeeded in splitting the country more than any other person. Clearly, in almost every department and with all indications, our nation has become a tale of two cities. We have war between the rich and the poor, men and women across generation, along party lines, social class, religion, ethnicity, and so on. The center has given up in almost every department, he wrote. Also, Buhari's former special advisor on media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, never spared a moment to fire back at Bishop Matthew Kukah. In fact, Adesina was accused Matthew Kukah of being angry with Buhari for not appointing him. But on Wednesday, Kukah, in an interview on Arise TV, said he has no personal grudges against the former president. He also said Adesina, who was always defending Buhari, was mainly doing his job and toasted him to probably relocate to Derby, where Buhari is right now, where there are a bunch of Foursquare churches where he is the pastor, so that he can be closer to his Godfather. When asked if he was missing his friend Buhari, who he always criticized, he said Buhari has served his tenure. He also knew, that I respect him for that. There was nothing I was saying that was personal. I imagine poor Adesina and his team are doing a good job. They did a good job for him. They needed to do because that's what they've been paid for. I will respect and hope that Pastor Adesina knows that there is Foursquare Gospel Church in Daura. I believe that the president of Foursquare Gospel Church should send him there as a pastor so he is close to his Godfather. You see the truth and you close your eyes and blindly lies. But having said that, I mean, President Buhari has finished his tenure and is gone, and there's very little else to say about him. But everyone knows he had a job to do, and he never did it. He did not do his job. That was what I was against. He destroyed Nigeria more than he built it. He never did anything for the country. Rather, he split up the country. So that's Bishop Matthew Kukah, and in his submission, he said, whatever I have with Buhari is not personal. I said, no, it's not personal. He said he had a job to do and he did not do his job. So, excuse me, if I tell him that you have done wrong, I said, and the funniest thing was that Femi Adesina and Garuba Shehu, they were doing their job. So you can't blame them. That's what they were paid to do. Okay, you are paid to be an accountant and you don't deliver. You don't say, who will pay? You will be sacked. So they were only doing their job. And Bishop Matthew clearly stated that out. He said it's not as if he didn't take them personal when they come and they attack him and say, oh, you are saying this against Buhari. And before you know it, he said that was what they forged an attack. They've written out an article. They've called him out. He said there was nothing personal. He understood very clearly that these men were doing their job. He said, and now that they are out of the place, they should continue to defend the Buhari. They should continue to tell Nigerians, about the Buhari. Most of these people, they knew very well that Buhari was a failure. A man who was doing absolutely nothing. You had a job and you were not doing the job, and you expect Nigerians to applaud you. Excuse me, who does that? Who does that? Only in Nigeria, you don't do your job and you get paid. It's sad, but that's the reality of what's going on in our nation. And so Bishop Matthew Kukah is saying, I have nothing personal against the former president. Nothing personal whatsoever. Nothing personal. The former president did not just do his job, and he expects everybody, to applaud him, to be quiet. We can't be quiet in the face of all that you did. You never did anything for the nation. Rather, you did everything for yourself. You never did anything you never did your job, basically. You never lifted a finger. Yeah, and those you employed, yeah, they are doing their job. So we can't fault them for doing their job. Even when they know, even when you are caught, committing a crime, their duty and their job is to make you look exonerated from that very activity. So that's what they are paid for. That's how they get their daily bread or their livelihood, if you want to put it that way. Maybe not daily bread, but livelihood, So it is what it is. The truth of it is that Nigerians, we don't want to tell ourselves the truth. We know it, but we just, we shy away from it. We pretend and we, want to masquerade it and, make it look like it's not, just water it down. Buhari did not do anything to save this nation. He never worked for the people. He only came there to amass wealth for himself and those who were around him. And cleverly, when he was leaving, he made sure that his own person got there so that no words can come about him and no investigation will be done. And he succeeded. But the truth of it is that he thinks he has succeeded because that is what he wants to believe. But there is what we call a day of reckoning. Everyone who is destroying Nigeria today will somehow, one way, pay for it. How? I cannot tell you, but it will surely happen. That's all I can let you know. Leave us a comment. Bye for now.